I'm Bob, and this is what's happening in this episode of The Machine Shop. Pete, the mad bastard, drops a V6 into a Beetle.
Bob welds £250,000 back together for Matt Armstrong.
And Guy, Bob and Delboy join motorcycling legend Austin Vince on his orienteering challenge in Spain. Hello, I am Pete, this is The Machine Shop. This is where I come to bother Bob and make his life a living hell. Most recently with Ducky. Ducky is a 1974 Beetle-ish that might actually be from 1981. It's definitely not left-handed, from Brazil. Ducky is Ducky. Ducky runs on spite mostly. And until recently she had a baby little 1200cc engine, and we're going to put something in a little bit more fruity. So I've done all the conversion work here, which is terrifying because it has a good likelihood that it will explode and fail. But in the short term, before all the joyous, wonderful things happen, ignoring the incredible level of my craftsmanship, which is minimal, I need to get this lever off. This is, terrifyingly, the clutch throw-out lever. Might be another word for it, but that's what it does. 1930s Germany was a wild place for good reasons and bad. So when you press the pedal on the front of the car, it literally does that. So this is crap and was designed back in the day for an engine with 40 horsepower. We now have 140 horsepower, so this needs to be better. This arm needs to come off first so that this can come out. We've got our beta tools over here, beta tools cabinet. We've got excessive amounts of caffeine. I have ADHD. The goal of today is to have the engine back in, the new pressure plate, new throw-out bearing, new arm, engine in, coolant in, get it started, get it running, get it moving.
So by the end of the video, you're hoping to have a running and driving car?
A vehicle.
Nice. Nice.
Get around it, so let's see. Pouring out for a brother. One of the best things about the machine shop is when you go out to do a simple task like removing a single lever from an arm and it doesn't want to, we find ways of saying, I don't care, get off.
Okay, for God's sake. You did it.
It's time for more violence. Basically, we watched the video and they were like, yeah, just knock this shaft out of this car right and easy. And that's because they just chopped these suckers off. So these suckers we will chop off. There is a brass bushing on the inside of this in the metal. By threading a tap into it, that tap will thread through and start pushing on the metal casing and pulling that bushing along.
Oh.
So I can pull the tap out and either that or it'll just pull the bushing out naturally.
Clever.
Shaft. A heavy duty shaft, this is thicker than the previous one, I think. It's also welded better on these unions. The brass bushing that comes with this one, thick ass boy. So the original one was like this, and then it had like a plastic thingy that goes on the inside. So
it was technically rubber bushed.
This combination, so yeah, I guess like there's probably a name for that in sports terms, but like this is gonna be better. So let's get these boys fitted. Look at that hoe-ass shit right there. That shit is pimp. 5-minute job, yeah, just replacing the throw-out arm. Didn't definitely take, what, 2 hours? 2 hours. Yep, so all done. She's finished, brand new. I'm just kidding. We gave up on using this. It's a heavy-duty one, and this was obviously designed by some kind of weird masochist or whatever. But what we have done is put the old one back in. The old one was a replacement. It's a modern one anyway, because I thought this had broke before we were doing this whole jibber-jabber. So She good. She returned. On to the next thing. We'll get the engine running today. I quit! I broke it, yes!
Am I going to die? Am I happy to die?
Right, hurt me, Daddy. I like the long range. That's
Yeah,
a real vibe.
Please do that in slow mo.
It might be in. Bit of a moment of truth then, boys. Under its own power. Told you it should be running.
boy.
Got no gas in it.
This car. We spinning, boys. So we managed to get it running pretty much just after midnight. I think it was like 10 minutes past or something. One of the plugs, one of the connectors for the distributor had come off during the install for the intake. It was very difficult to find. We got there in the end. But we did it, yeah. And it's, I think Ducky here, the car that runs on Spite is just a testament to what you can do at TMS, the machine shop, and all the people that will come down and help you out, the kind of community we have. I've come from a background of finance. I knew nothing about mechanics, engineering, CAD, nothing like that. And I've used all those processes throughout this to make this happen. Like, I've built the engine adapter myself, I've changed the flywheel myself. I have decided to put an engine I found on Facebook Marketplace in a classic car myself, which was probably pretty stupid. But we made it work. So let's hear it, shall we?
sweet. Honestly, that was really cool.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, well done, man.
It's a car now.
Yeah, it's definitely a car. How much horsepower did you say you ended up with?
140.
Yeah, what did it start with?
40.
That's pretty good.
Matt's asked me to come up and do a bit of work on this Aventador SVJ. White car, SVJ, Lamborghini. So something's hit in here and punched a hole into the chassis leg. So I'm going to cut out this M shape here and weld a new patch in. Easy. I brought my own drill. That was satisfying. I'm just trying to figure out how this is made because there's a casting on the outside and then there's like a second skin on the inside and then a piece of flat stock material and bottom welded, and there's lots of sandwiching going on. It's fine just to put a plate over that, but I don't know why that's there. I can't get this wrong because if there's 2, possibly 3 skins there and they might be doing different jobs, if I put a plate over that, I'm not getting the 2 inner skins. But if I find out the inner skins have been welded somewhere else before my welds, then it's good. So it's fine. I just need a plate over it. Still exploring, still trying to figure out what's going on here. There's multiple layers. There's 2 layers here, not 3, which is less work for me. And there's 2 layers on this side as well. What I'm thinking I'll do is I'll cut the first plate to go sit on top of this and up against those ones. I'll weld it from the bottom, I'd say, and I'll weld that from the bottom as well. I'll stick another plate on the bottom there and weld around that. I'm making all of this up as I go along. I'm trying to say something confidently. I don't know yet. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, and I'll tell you about it after. Do you think they'd stop us from bringing a horse to Malay? Everything's about cleaning. If it's not clean, it won't weld, and then
Hence why you've used the entire archive of flex tools to get this
it's
on.
nothing to do with product placement. I'm using somebody's chips. Did somebody have chips recently?
Yes, Tony.
Okay, a Tony's chip bag to make a template out. It was not ideal, but it's the first bit of paper I came across. So what I'm going to do is put that on there. I'm going to rub my dirty fingers against the edges underneath and around the edges there, and I'm going to take that away.
That works really well.
Yeah, I brought a piece of aluminium pre-bent because the last time I was doing something like this, I didn't have a bender up here, so it's genius.
That is so scary.
It's potato grease. That's what I'm using.
Surely there's a proper tool that you do that with, Bob.
I'm the proper tool, bro. I'm the proper tool. I never have a plan. It's a Flex SHE1618EC 531583. Lovely.
You just pull cheese out your pocket?
Yeah, it's travel cheese. It's travel cheese. It's not my favourite.
Well, what kind of cheese for a start?
It's Cathedral Mature Cheddar. I prefer Travel Brie. Travel Brie is mint because you can put it in your pocket and sit on it and it just deforms and it's comfortable.
Travel cheese. How's it coming on?
I got cheese on it.
You got cheese.
I spent 3 hours cleaning and I got cheese on it. That's done. I'm going to do some magicianship with the welder now. And we're all finished now. All the welding is done. Made a little mistake here where I touched the tungsten down. This thing here, that's what provides the arc, or what you might know as a flame. If that gets too close to the weld, it gets stuck in it. And it's a mistake. Most welders wouldn't show you that, but I'm humble.
Fair.
Don't laugh. You happy?
Yes, I am more than happy with that. That is OEM. When people look at that, they think it's not going to be, that isn't how it's meant to be, but that is actually how Lamborghini did it, with an M.
The right way design. We were saying earlier that it's such a strange shape to have an M there for like literally no reason.
Yeah, no reason at all, but that looks sick. But yeah, if we find anything else, we'll call you back.
I still have that little bit too.
Well, yeah, there's a little, there's a small dent we've just found as well, so we're just going to get Bob to carry on doing that. But that is absolutely spot on. Thanks, Bob. He's just got one more bit to do before we let him go.
Sound. And stick around for the next part of this video where we're off to Spain on a motorbike trip.
Bob, Del and myself had travelled to Spain to meet up with Austin VINCE. We were taking part in the Apprentice VINCE, the very interesting navigation challenge event. This event was Austin's own invention, a trail riding treasure hunt that came with all the training you needed to compete in it.
It's basically nothing apart from the fact that all over the map are the contour lines.
Austin was providing us with practical learning, real-world experience, translating the information on the map to the surroundings around it, and he was understandably very passionate about it.
The essence of the project is trying to connect with the shape of the ground, and we get the shape of the ground from interpreting the contour lines. So now the map's orientated, so up there is up there. We've just come from here. Everyone comfortable? Mm-hmm. Now then.
Although we had all read maps before, we were living in a world where everyone gets out their phone for the sat-nav for the most simple of journeys. This was like training an old muscle out of atrophy or relearning an old skill.
But once you start to develop that skill, it stops being a skill and actually becomes a superpower.
Under Austin's guidance, we started to make quick progress across the trails. We were able to stop and look at a map in 2 dimensions, but read it in 3.
But I always use the contour lines to make a stab at deciding when you're at in that spot in terms of altitude, uphill, horizontal, downhill, okay?
Austin's superpower analogy wasn't entirely inaccurate. You had an expectation of the terrain you were about to cross, therefore almost a premonition of what you were going to do. And if it wasn't what you were expecting, you knew you'd made a mistake.
When we take that turning there, we're going to climb how many meters before we get to that junction, roughly?
That junction, 100?
Yeah, about 100. Yeah. About 100 meters. It's a 100-meter ascent.
With our skills refreshed, the first day's training seemed quite relaxed compared to what the second day had to offer. Day 2 came with our off-road training, with the brilliant Honda adventure instructors Pat and Adi.
A little bit of throttle keeps the bike light, keeps the weight off the front.
Even though I live on a farm and have tackled a fair bit of dirt on my time, I would never say that I was a competent off-road rider, and I had never received any off-road training. I knew that Bob and Del were better than me, but what I didn't realise is quite how bad I actually was.
Okay, touch it. Okay. Slower. Let it rain. Slower, slower. Leg out, leg out, leg out. Look through. Got it again. Right down the clutch.
Being rinsed around the beginner set by men twice my age was a little bit humbling. But by the end of the day, I had learnt a lot and was feeling a lot more confident about our first day out hunting checkpoints. Austin has spent over a decade designing these events, setting up checkpoints across the Spanish wilderness for people to go and find. No phones, no sat-nav, just analog map reading skills. It was a lot of work, and this was just the practice version. As he was the best off-roader and the least confident map reader, we decided that Del Boy would be the navigational officer for the first day.
Over a bridge. Oh,
Is that a bridge or a culvert?
sorry, they're culverts, aren't they? The red ones.
Under Del's guidance and Austin's book, we made our way to our first checkpoint. So that
Opposite side of the track junction. That's definitely exactly where we're stood.
Although some of the checkpoints could be found on road signs or statue plinths, most of them were these little aluminium tags that Austin had spent the last decade pinning up in the woods. We filled in our first correct answer and set out for a positive day. Del Boy was already proving to be an excellent navigation officer.
Obviously, this is the door. We'll have this done by dinner. Stand on the brake, turn round. Where's the map? Every single one of these checkpoints is an adventure. Hello. Just about to walk away, unsuccessful. Del Boy finds the tag.
Del Boy! What are you doing?
We came to a boulder, there's no motorbike like in the picture. It's 2 o'clock. I've got this, don't worry, follow me.
It had been a great day. The incredible scenery, the new way of interacting with our environment, having an excuse to go to places that we wouldn't have otherwise. With restored confidence, we returned to the hotel to set out an audacious route for the next day to score as many points as possible. But even with our newfound skills and careful planning, we had no idea how complicated the next day was going to be.
Should I help or film?
Should have stood up, should have been it.
With Del back on his Tenere, Bob and I thought it would be a fun idea to swap bikes. We were both wrong. So it's my first day as navigator, and I thought we'd get the tough stuff out of the way early. So I've already jumped up over this on the little mountain goat on the CRF today. It did not go well. I needed a lot of help, and that's the lightest bike. So we're going to see how Del and Bob do with it, who are much more experienced than me. Should be fine. Should be fine. As he had more experience, I thought Bob would safely navigate the Africa Twin. I was wrong. We now had the heaviest bike we had stuck at the bottom of the ditch. We did find out later on that it turns out it's very easy to turn the traction control on and off with your elbow when you're trying to push the bike out of the ditch, which doesn't help. As with a lot of life's problems, if you can't find a skillful solution, brute force and ignorance will eventually do the trick. Eventually. With the bike moving again, I asked Bob what he thought about his first hour on the Twin. Thoughts?
I think there should be an adventure bike scale. Type 1, 2 and 3 adventure bikes.
What type's the Twin?
4.
So that was our exercise in Type 2 fun for the day. Fortunately, Del Boy, our expert off-roader, is going to show us all how it's done next. He got the furthest! Once we had made sure Del was okay, we checked in on the bike. It had taken us roughly an hour to travel 200 metres. On some days, we've had Austin or his buddy Pat with us to help us filming, but today it's just the three of us. So we have to set up our own cameras for everything, so while we've just got all these bikes up, we've also been trying to document it, which made it a little bit harder. Type 2 fun?
Type 2.
Type 2. Type 2. We didn't know it yet, but things were about to get a lot worse. Bob and I had noticed a few warning signs that Del was getting a little confused.
I can't see that any bikes have been through it.
Well, we'll change that.
Oh, are we going right here?
Yes.
Oh, I was looking up there.
No, we're going on the trail. We had been taking on water and even dunked ourselves in a stream. Del had not. While trying to navigate up a particularly difficult hill, Del Boy disappeared into the woods. So while we were trying to navigate the hell hill, Del Boy went a little off-piste on his search for the alternative route. It's about half a kilometre off route. With Del and his bike successfully recovered, we had to deal with the fact that he'd burnt his clutch out. Del, usually mechanically competent, was still dehydrated and confused. But fortunately, we had Bob. Has Bob got some mechanical knowledge? Yep. That'll be alright then. With the bike back on the trail and Del freshly rehydrated, we went to stare down at what we had conquered. It had taken us over 2 hours to cover 500 metres. We decided to pick up the pace.
Yeah, it might be a bit challenging up there.
The time lost meant cutting a huge chunk out of our route. Fortunately, we found a fire break that got us back down towards civilization. And we did get one little bonus. If we got nothing else done today, we got 1 point. And that's what matters, getting points. All right, let's go. We were back on the road again, until we weren't. And as a credit to the man who'd smiled through the whole thing, the mud on his Tenere, the cuts and bruises he had, nothing could stop Del's positive attitude. How are you feeling?
Sore.
Good man. Battered and broken, we got to the day's final checkpoint, where Bob made an interesting discovery. At least, interesting to him.
The most fascinating thing I find about all of this that we see around us is they've managed to weld stainless steel to aluminium handrails. First of all, I've never seen aluminium handrails. So they've got aluminium handrail, but they've put it together with stainless steel rod, and you can see like the evidence of little bits of rust from the stainless steel being overheated or whatever. So that's aluminium. There's a streak of rust down the middle. It's wild. This bit's stainless, and they look like they've used the stainless steel stick welder and just like flattened it on there. I can't say it's worked too bad. It's totally wrong. I would never do it like that. But fair play.
Realising that our confidence had far outweighed our abilities, on day 5 we asked to be joined by expert Honda off-road instructor Adi.
Don't dump the clutch, let it out till you find the sweet spot.
Not only did he get Bob standing up on an adventure bike, but he got me and the 1100 Africa Twin through my least favourite thing, sand. When you see your front wheel go into sand, and you see the person in front of you wobbling, it's really hard to get through it.
Go into that mode.
Yeah, but when you get it right, you just surf. And the front's just, it'll waggle, but it doesn't tuck.
With our abilities catching up to our confidence and AD keen to have a day out having fun, we made our way to the mecca of Western film fans, sadly. It was the final day, the final checkpoint, and Del Boy was on the case. In this stunning location, a set built for one of the most iconic shootouts of film history, we had a chance at redemption. If we could find the date on a specific gravestone, we could score 5 points instead of 1. And if we did that, we wouldn't win, but we might not lose. And we were determined not to lose.
There's no date on it!
Well, fuck. Fortunately, this was the Apprentice VINCE, and therefore the points didn't matter, and we'd had plenty of practice to come back and do it properly next year. And, as we were at Sad Hill anyway, well, we're here now, we've got to do the thing. What thing? You know, the thing. What thing? Good, the bad and the ugly. Have you not watched the film?
No, I've seen that bit that you showed me.
Alright, well we're going to go and do the thing. Come on, come on.
Did any cunt bring a gun?
No.
No.
Pints.
Yes. In the end, we never found out what the other teams had scored. We just went back to the hotel and for the 6th night in a row, got incredibly drunk and ate amazing food and made new friends while telling stories about the day's adventures that we'd had. The three of us all agreed that this was one of the best things we'd ever done on a motorbike and that all of us would be back the following year with more people for next year's Apprentice VINCE. There are two types of people in this world, amigos. Those who have fun and those who don't.
Well done, boy. I'm glad you're still here with us.
Quite a little adventure. It's nice to see your observational skills are really like sharp.
That's the thing with those rocks, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, some of them look like trees.
I didn't realise I'd only probably travelled not very far at all.
Yeah, no, there's a big difference between 800 metres and 4 kilometres.
Yeah.
But you know, the point being, we're all still here, we all survived, and we're all definitely going next year.
Yes, 200%. 200%.
If any of you are watching this and you want to come and join us on the 2026 Apprentice VINCE, all of us are going, and we would very much like you to join us. There will be details down in the description of saying how you're going. Obviously, we all had a great time in Boston, what's happening next episode?
So on the next episode, we're going to fix a BMW head for dips.
I'm going to change some cam tools for some Merc head for Matt Armstrong.
Okay. And we're going to show you what happens when we take the machine shop experience to MotoGP. We'll see you next time. It's your camera. Right, fuck this.
Is that a wrap? Is that a wrap?
Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Got to tell them. Come on, come back. Hey, we forgot to tell you something. So this is Artec. They give us lots of equipment here at the machine shop. Bob is the most famous welder in England.
Colin Furs is pretty famous.
All right, the second most famous welder in England.
Double Boost is pretty famous.
Was it third most famous welder?
Anyway, I'm cool.
He's the most famous welder I know. Where are you going to be? Tell him about it.
We're going to be at Gravity Car Show from the 22nd of August. That's in the NEC in Birmingham. If you're coming along, come to the Ortec stand. I'll be there. I'll be signing your girlfriend's books and pamphlets and stuff. What do they call them? Programs?
Yeah, programs. Yeah, signing programs.
Programs, both of them.
And if you're watching this on the day of release and you want to see me next weekend, I'm going to be at Boomtown getting absolutely off my tits.
Nobody knows who you are.
Cool. I'm Guy Markham. That's Bob. He's very famous.
I know Matt Armstrong.
You don't. Right, okay, let's go. Come on.